Alright guys, yeah, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be working on this 2017 Ford F150 3.5 turbo 2-wheel drive valve cover gaskets, and also I'm going to be replacing the vacuum pump, but I'm not going to be going over that. It's just $3 for that. But these valve covers, take your time on them. There's a lot of stuff that we got to take out, so let's get straight to it. Okay, so yeah, first let's go ahead and remove the oil cap. Let's pick this up and pull back. Valve cover or cover, it's held on by these things. Go ahead and set this aside. And then so now let's start right here. There's a connection right here. You gotta press in and pull back. Just set that aside over here on the side. Unscrew this 7mm, 7, and then a 7 down here. There's one right here, and then when that comes out, it's like a T almost. So yeah, it should be like this, and the connection. Alright, and then so yeah, the next thing is to remove these two tubes right here. These are the ones that for the turbo, but under here there's a bolt for the valve cover, but pretty much we have to remove these two. And same thing on the other side, we're gonna have to remove these two. So this is how it looks like for now. So let's go ahead and start with this side since we're here. There is a 7mm, 2 of them that connect to the turbo. I'm trying to get a better view. There's one right here, a 7mm, and then one right below it. There's another 7mm, that one there. So there, it's just hard to get a good view on it, but it's both of them right there. 7mm. So let's go ahead and remove that. Okay, so yeah, once we got those two bolts loosened up, now let's go ahead and remove these pipes that connect to both of those. We're gonna be taken out just so they don't break. So for this one, this red tab, just go ahead and pop it out with your thumb one side and the other, and kind of just pull back and wiggle it off. Same thing to this one, just kind of like pry up on both sides. I think it's the bottom one, but okay, so mine just broke off, but mine looks like somebody tried to like glue it back on there or something. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you. But yeah, this is how the clip looks like. It's just two little hooks. Yeah, it's better if you have like a hook to like pull this one out and it'll start to come off, and do that for the other side. And then this tube should come off of it. But yeah, like I said, it looks like somebody was trying to mess with this. It wasn't no way of me saving it. So either way, take your time. And now for the next one over here, there's a clip that goes from there's a clip over here, and you pull back and you pick up at the same time. As you can see, this one right here, and you pull back and then up. Same thing, it's on the opposite side. Pull back and like wiggle it out at the same time. And then there's also this connection right here. Pick up this little tab, pick it up and pull back at the same time. Okay, and then for that connection, as you can see, is right here. Just gotta pull up and it unlocks it. So that's for that little thing. And then these were the ones I was telling you about that you gotta like pull back. Yeah, well, this is the lock position, and you gotta pull back and pick up at the same time, pull up. Same thing for both of them, and then the connection. So now that we have this out, let's continue. Okay, so now for this turbo line, I put some of the penetrating fluid on this rubber grommet that's down here. So yeah, that rubber grommet is gonna be kind of a pain, so put some penetrating fluid. Now let's start to pull it out from over there. Start to wiggle it off, and then it gives us opportunity to loosen it up. So now let's go ahead and just pull up and wiggle it out of there. And then also the same thing for the other one. Okay, so that's, you know, pretty much out of the way. That's enough for us to get to that bolt that's under this little bracket. Now if you want to take it down, there's another connection under this one here. So I mean, but like I said, you could just like set it there. It's more than enough space. So now let's go ahead and do this other side. Okay, so now for the two turbo bolts, it's kind of easier for me on this side, on the side of the wheel. As you can see, there's both of them right there, which is this one and then the blue one as well. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove these two clamps. Same thing, so 7mm. Okay, so now that we got the two clamps loosened up, now as you can see, there's this tube right here coming out of it. Now pretty much for your job is penetrating fluid is going to be your best friend. Just put some on there and then get a hook and slowly take it out. I had this nipple break on me on previous vehicles, so just take your time on it, put as much lubricant and get like a J hook and slowly start to remove it. Yeah. Alright, so as you can see, I got my little hook in there, and then I'm going like top to bottom, slowly, not puncturing it, just going up and down, and it's starting to loosen up. I try not to do that, like up and down like that. Make sure it comes out with it. So just take your time. As you see now, it's kind of like pushing the hose back. Don't pull it like how I was doing in the beginning, because that can definitely break. So yeah, that's off of there. Yeah, let's continue. Now same thing over here is going to be those two little like rubber grommets. I just pull up on it. As you can see, there's one like right there. Right there, there's one. So just kind of go up with it. So that one's loose now. It's not on there no more. And now this other one too, there's right there. So yeah, let's continue. Let's just pull that one up. On this one, I never have to like remove that one, so that one can stay. But this one you gotta pull up and back so it can come off of there. Okay, so yeah, once we have that, I just literally like picked up on it and I pulled back. Same thing. Now, so you can see it's off of here. That's how we need it, and that gives us enough space to remove that bracket too. Okay, so I kind of forgot to do this step where you blow out all this little dirt. There's a lot of little dirt right there, so when you take it out, it can fall in there. But I forgot to do this before, so just blow out all of this. So you can start to take this off, just so any of the dirt that's under there too. But yeah, just blow out all like around the valve cover on both sides. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and start on the driver's side. For the first thing, let's remove these two clamps. You gotta press them down both at the same time and pull it back, and then like pull this hose out of the way. Okay, so yeah, once we have that, now you just slowly twist it out. And now for this, there's these two little tabs, same thing as the first ones that we did. You gotta press down and like push them in at the same time. You know, you can slowly start to feel that. There you go. It clips out, and slowly turn it too. There you go. That's that one. All of these are all one. And then for this one over here, there's an 8mm. There's a clip right here. You gotta press up and pull back. The clip, it's like that. press down and it goes up. And then for this one, it's just another green one like this, where you squeeze those 2 tabs in and press in at the same time. It's kind of easier with 2 hands, but it's pretty much the same concept. So let's take those off, and then the 8mm, and then all of this piece comes out all together. Okay, so yeah, once we got these things out and this bolt out, there's just one more, same exact thing. The 2 clips, you gotta press in and down and pull back, just like snap them in just so they don't come out. And then you can remove this whole thing out of the way. And then for these little clips, they're kind of annoying. I suggest you get like a pick and you pry out these little pink connection. It's like a lock. There you go. And then just press down. If you're lucky, there you go. Same thing to this one. The pink, sometimes they break. They're really annoying. Sometimes you don't even feel it. But yes, do the same thing for these 2. And let's continue. Okay, so now there's these lines that come out of the turbo. And there's a big junction here. And there's the ones that we took off from there. But anyways, now we gotta get our pry tool to remove the clips. There's one right here. You can see where I'm prying at. Okay, so now that we got that off, this is how it looks like, just a little Christmas tree. And follow it, it goes to this turbo right here. You could just like wiggle it off usually. And yeah, there you go. Pull that to the side or here or something. And now let's start to remove these coils. Red tab, press back, squeeze it down. They're all the same style, where you just squeeze and it unlocks. Same thing to all these other 3. So let's do that to all 3 of them. Okay, so before we take them off, this last one, this connection is in the way. So let's just, start to remove this. Plus, we're gonna have to either way. So yeah, this is 10mm. There's a connection down here that you gotta press the same exact way. There's no locking tab on this one. It's just a connection, same thing. Just pull it down and it unlocks or whatever. So yeah, 10mm. This is a 17 for the fuel line, and one of those little clips again. You press in and then up, and it unlocks. So let's do this. 17 and 10mm for both. Okay, so yeah, once we got all that off, I'm just setting it there. So now we have access to the coils. So yeah, if you're lucky, and they come out like this. Wow, I wasn't even expecting that. And if not, you are gonna need some pliers and like slowly turn it and pull it out. I was surprised that it came out so easily. But yeah, I do it to all 3 of them. Okay, so yeah, once we got all the coils out, now there's a T30 for the fuel. The thing right here, T30, remove that. There's a gasket underneath. If you're gonna replace it. There's an 8mm right here for this fuel line, and then you see that small little like little holding plate. You're just gonna pull that up. There's an 8mm there. Just take out the bolt, and then I'll show you how it looks like after. Okay, so yeah, this is that little plate that I was talking to you about, T30. There's a gasket right there, the 8mm, and like I told you, I just pushed it back. There's enough clearance, size 8mm, just so it can move, just to have a small little bit, more play. But it's really not necessary. And now the last thing is this small little bracket. It's 8mm, so remove that out all the way. And then there's a 13 right here nut. For this one, You know, you don't gotta back it out all the way, just like a couple threads, and then it just comes out. So yeah, maybe like 5 turns maybe, and then this whole little bracket is gonna come off, and then there's gonna be a stud like this underneath here, and then it should be enough to remove the valve cover. Okay, so yeah, this is the bracket that I was telling you about. Right here's where that 8 goes, and it's actually a 15 millimeter. So like I said, yeah, it doesn't have to come out all the way because it's just cut halfway. So yeah, there's that little bracket. Set it aside, and now we're pretty much close to removing this valve cover. Now the only thing that we got to do is remove these little Christmas trees. There's, I think, 1 more left, and then also there's 4 of these, if I'm not mistaken, left. It's just like little caps on there. They go in each one, so go ahead and remove that. I think there's 2 more or 3 more here, and then there's 1 all the way over here in the corner, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, there's 1 all the way back here and like 4 here. So let's remove those 2, and then it'll be time for the bolts. Okay, so now it's time to remove the bolts. There's 5 bolts all along here. There's 5 bolts all along here, and 1 bolt up here. So there's 11 bolts in total. There is no bolts over here in the very back. So it's just 5 on the side, 5 on the side, and 1 right here. And then also I suggest you put some penetrating fluid right here, because the gasket comes up through there. So put some penetrating fluid, so when we start to pry it out, it comes off a little bit easier. Yeah, these 2 are the hardest ones to pull out, and then it's gonna come out from all these. But yeah, let's remove these bolts first. Okay, so if you haven't, take off like your dipstick. I don't know if I went over that, but yeah, once you have all these bolts removed, now here comes the take your time part. Just start to pry everywhere as much as you can. Don't go too rough, because I have broken valve covers before, just because you start to get frustrated. Just take your time. I even put some of the penetrating fluid all along the valve cover gasket, just so it can start to loosen up. But yeah, start to put your pry bar flathead under, start to go slowly all the way around. Like I said, because it has to come through these 2, and through all the spark plug holes, those 3. So it's just kind of annoying. So take your time, don't break it, and I'll show you how I take it out. Okay, so yeah, once we have that valve cover off, now here's the RTV, the old one, on both sides. So you know, let's go ahead and like remove that with the razor blade or by hand. I prefer a razor blade. And make sure you clean the whole surface all the way around with some brake cleaner and a shop rag, just to get all this dirt off, and it could be a clean surface once you have the new gasket on there. But yeah, so yeah, remove that, and I already have the gasket on there. I mean, it's not really anything crazy, just remove and replace. See, it's on there good already. So let's get our surface clean, and then I'll show you the next part. Okay, so now that we got all our surface clean, make sure nothing fell inside there. Look over it 1 more time. But yeah, let's put some RTV right here where the front cover meets the cylinder head. Just a small little bead right here, and same thing on the other side over here. And then just put the small little bead, and then put the valve cover on. I like to put a thin little layer of oil all around, just so it can slide around and it doesn't curl up. But yeah, I'll show you that in a moment. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, I put that little bead, and then also put a thin little layer of oil. I put some oil on these as well, and on the sensors up here. So now let's go ahead and put that on. Okay, so yeah, once we have that valve cover on there, now it's time to torque them down to 89 inch-pounds. I'm gonna try to get a little picture right here of the torque specs, but if I don't, I'm sure you can look it up on Google. I'm so sorry, I'm not good at editing. But yeah, torque everything down. All the valve cover gasket, or all the bolts for the valve cover. Make sure there's no wires stuck over here in the back. That's pretty much it. Now let's put everything back together in reverse order. And let me give you the torque specs for these things right now in a moment. Okay, so for the torque specs for the plate, it's 89 inch-pounds, and then the two bolts is telling me to take it off and put it back on. I'm not sure how that works for these bolts, and it says 177 inch-pounds plus 45 degrees, so I'm not too sure on that one. I never really do those torque specs, but just in case. And then the torque specs for these coils, the coils is 62 inch-pounds plus 50 degrees, or just hand tighten them really. But yeah, that's about it. Put everything back on there, all the connections, all these little things you took off, and I'll show you the final product, and then we'll move on to the other side. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much after. On mine, I'm still not putting on that tube, the one that was broken off, because I'm still waiting for it. But you can put everything back together. The ones that go on that tube too. This crossover pipe as well, the one that goes on that tube, you could put that on, and the connection. And yeah, you just put those two tubes back in there, tying them up. Make sure your fuel line is tight, the 17. There's not much else. Oh yeah, this evap purge valve, I think it's called. On this one, you can put that back too, connect it back. Just kind of put everything back really. And then that's pretty much it. Like I said, I just put the air tube back. I don't have it, but now this. Oh, and then also I would wait to put this back, the one that goes on this like silver piece, because you might have to move it over here on this other side, which brings me to the other side. So this other side is almost a mirrored image, not kind of really, but you get the same thing. There's a pipe, remove that, your connections, and then also you are gonna have to remove your connection from the throttle body and take it out, because it's the same thing where you got to pull those little tabs out right there as well. So yeah, let's just do all the basic stuff. This connections, coils, and then these over here in the back, I recommend you not use the impact and take them off by hand, because I once had the bolt break inside there and I had to get a whole new valve cover. It sucked. So just take your time on these two in the back, the 8s, and then this piece I'm gonna tilt it over, but I'll show you how it looks like after, if there's anything else. Okay, so now that we got all of this off, this is the thing that I was talking to you about, this connection. This one goes to the other silver one right there. What else? There wasn't really much. The bracket as well as 2 8s. Connections, coils. There's just a whole bunch of connections right here on the side of these studs. Oh, and then these right here are those two 8mm that I was talking to you about. They come out like this, just straight up, and then the threads for them are like a thick thread. So yeah, this is this bolt that comes out of there. I also have to remove this vacuum line right here. You just press in that white tab and pull out. Now just remove all the connections. There really isn't much. Now for the bolts, there is 5 all along here, and then there's 1 back here. You can see right by the vacuum pump, there's 1 right there, and then 5 again on this side, and then 1 up here. So in total for this one, there's 12 of the bolts all the way around. I put some oil on my camshaft, or I don't know what's called, sensors. I'm trying to think of, but there's nothing else really. And then so yeah, just start to remove all those bolts and slowly start to pry up. So I'll try to see if I can get a good angle this time. So yeah, let's go ahead and start to remove it. Alright guys, so this side took me like 40 minutes, no joke. I'm not exaggerating. It took me like 30 minutes because this side there's no space just because of this tube right here. It's in your way. Over here you have space, and then over here it's just this tube, and then all these lines are in the way to get something in the front. It's just really difficult this side. And then this is the side that I was talking to you about, the one that I broke before. And like I said, take your time. If you're at home, if it takes you an hour, take your time. The lubricant is your best friend. Try to pry all the way around. Same thing, clean your area, put some RTV on those corners. It's kind of the same thing as over there, really. So make sure nothing falls inside there. Put a little bit of oil around it so it can slide around. Very little thin film of oil. There's nothing else. I replaced the vacuum pump gasket. I recommend you replacing that as well, just because you're there, and then you can see how it lines up right there. Other than that, there's not much to it. So I'm gonna cut to where everything's back together, and then yeah. So yeah, also what I forgot to mention, there is RTV right here in these little corners, right here and over here. So there's two, and then the one's up front, which is right here in the back of it. There's the gaskets. You can see the little where the RTV goes. So yeah, put some RTV there as well. Okay, so now that we got everything back together, I'll try to put the torque specs and the torque sequence. But everything else is about the same. Just hand tighten everything, put everything back, make sure all these lines go underneath here. Make sure you put your throttle body, your vacuum line, and then just put everything back. Really, I don't really want to take too much of a time. Just put everything back, and put my hose back. It just came in. But yeah, thanks for all the new subscribers that I'm getting. Super happy. Yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, comment, share, let me know what your thoughts about it. But yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.